world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think she's going to lower your happiness level.
It's true. Thank you. I like that question. Do you know you have Rosie O'Donnell?
No.
Do you know who she is? Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
You're better off not knowing.
Donald Trump's presidency has been marked by an ongoing spectacle designed to distract from serious issues. His recent focus on revoking Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship is just another example of his need to create drama and avoid real leadership. Rather than addressing national crises, Trump turned the Oval Office into a stage for his ego, often prioritizing personal PR stunts over governance. His obsession with self-promotion, from crowd sizes to ratings, has made the presidency less about leading the country and more about performing for the public. Comedians like Jimmy Kimmel and Jim Carrey have been quick to lampoon Trump, exposing the absurdity of his leadership style. Kimmel, in particular, has mocked Trump's need for constant validation, pointing out how he believes shouting louder makes him smarter, despite the obvious lack of substance in his arguments.
Apparently, with all that's going on, still smarting from my joke about him at the Oscars. You know, Donald Trump is in the first week of a criminal trial, the first president to be on trial for a criminal offense for paying hush money to a pornographic film.
The Oval Office, once a symbol of dignity, has been reduced to a comedy show, with Trump playing the role of the performer, obsessed with applause and attention rather than solving the country's problems. Carrey, known for his surreal humor, exaggerates Trump's flaws into an almost cartoonish form, highlighting how his actions are so ridiculous that they seem almost unbelievable. Trump's presidency has become a series of spectacles where real issues are ignored in favor of creating plot twists for personal gain.
You don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know. Sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean?
Instead of addressing crises like the pandemic, Trump used them as opportunities to protect his image, rebranding failures as victories. Trump's handling of reality has been a constant source of ridicule. Kimmel compares him to a child who rewrites his report card and then insists he's earned straight A's. Trump treats facts as inconveniences, manipulating reality to fit his narrative. His leadership style is less about accountability and more about avoiding blame and maintaining a carefully constructed image. Kimmel mocks how Trump views failure not as something to learn from, but as something to be swept under the rug. Carrey takes this absurdity further, imagining Trump as a grotesque character, a cartoonish figure who treats the presidency like a performance piece. He amplifies Trump's flaws to the point where it's impossible to take him seriously, turning his presidency into a never-ending slapstick routine. In Carrey's vision, Trump is more focused on the spectacle of governance than on actual leadership. He imagines Trump as someone who believes his role is to entertain rather than govern, turning every national issue into a plot twist for his personal drama. Kimmel also highlights Trump's obsession with popularity, ratings, and crowd sizes. Instead of focusing on national unity, Trump treats politics like a game show, checking his approval numbers like trophies. This desperate need for validation has led him to treat the presidency like a platform for self-promotion, focusing on his image rather than on solving real problems.
I mean, if I was making stuff up, that I would point out that the reason he stands like this and golfs like this and plays tennis like this is because he has a full diaper strapped around his little mushroom garden.
Kimmel and Carrey both point out how Trump's obsession with being liked has undermined the office of the president, turning it into a popularity contest instead of a position of leadership. The reality of Trump's presidency has been less about making real changes and more about maintaining an illusion of power. His handling of crises has been marked by a desire to protect his image rather than address the issues head-on. Instead of offering solutions, he has often staged his responses, turning every challenge into an opportunity for self-promotion. This approach has led to widespread ridicule, as comedians point out how his actions have undermined the very principles of leadership. Kimmel and Carrey's satire also focuses on how Trump's presidency has twisted institutions and laws to serve his personal interests. Rather than respecting the checks and balances of government, Trump has treated the presidency as an extension of his brand, bending rules to fit his narrative. The system that once served to protect democracy has been compromised by his ego, turning the presidency into a platform for self-interest rather than public service.
To all my fellow Americans living abroad, I need you to join me right now in saving our country. Our country is in very serious trouble. You have to make sure that you are registered and you are going to vote, because I'm going to take very good care of you. I'm going to take care of our nation.
The absurdity of Trump's leadership is reflected in his obsession with reality TV-style validation. Kimmel imagines Trump as a game show contestant, constantly checking the scoreboard, desperate for applause and approval. His obsession with ratings and crowd sizes has turned governance into a performance, where the goal is not to lead the country, but to maintain a narrative of success. This mindset has led to a presidency that is more concerned with image than substance. In this satirical lens, Trump's presidency is portrayed as a blooper reel of governance, where every misstep is turned into a spectacle for public consumption. Kimmel and Carrey expose how Trump's leadership has been less about solving problems and more about managing public perception. His inability to address crises, his disregard for facts, and his obsession with personal validation have created a presidency marked by chaos and confusion. Both Kimmel and Carrey have relentlessly mocked Trump's ego-driven approach to leadership. Kimmel emphasizes how Trump treats leadership like a performance, where the objective is to create a spectacle rather than solve real problems. Carrey takes this idea further, imagining Trump as a grotesque character who treats the presidency like a cartoonish comedy, focused on the show rather than the substance. Their satire highlights the absurdity of a leader more concerned with applause than with governing. In the end, Trump's presidency is less a moment of historical greatness and more a comedy of errors. Kimmel and Carrey's ridicule strips away the illusion of power, showing how Trump's obsession with self-promotion and ego has undermined the dignity of the office. His leadership has been marked by a constant need for validation and an inability to address real problems. The legacy of Trump's presidency will likely be remembered not for its accomplishments, but for its absurdity, a blooper reel of governance that will be laughed at for years to come.